This sister knows what she's talking about. Like, share, subscribe. Let's go.
We're still pushing back. We don't want them here. The crime rate has gone up since they've been here. That's a fact. Nobody wants to talk about it, but we live it every day.
What policies would you like to see in place that would limit the amount of people that are there?
Well, listen, there are policies on the book in Congress already. They need to enforce the laws that are already on the books. These people are here illegally. Again, they're not seeking asylum. If they were seeking asylum, they would have gone to the first country that would have granted them asylum, which would have been Mexico. What I would like to see them do, if they're here illegally, they need to go back to their country of origin, and that's immediately. We have no allegiance to these folks, okay? We don't care where they're from.
Does the Democratic platform seem to satisfy your needs as far as what you'd like to see with our immigration policy?
So what platform is that? They don't seem to have a platform. They seem to have open borders. Everybody can come here. Listen, people live in their homes. You have a home or you have an apartment. Do you have a front door on your home?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a back door?
Yes, I do.
Are they locked?
They're locked.
Are you locking because you're racist?
No.
You're locking because?
I'm protecting my 4 children that I have at home.
Exactly. Same thing with our borders, okay? It has nothing to do with racism. We have to protect our sovereignty.
Yep.
We have to protect the citizens here. We have to protect our homeland. And so we have to close those borders.
Absolutely.
By any means necessary. Building a wall is an excellent idea. Look at the DNC convention. They built all kinds of walls of security. They have all kinds of police. They wanted to defund the police. They didn't want police protection. But listen, when it comes to them, it's always hypocrisy, built into it.
Why is it that you get to come here? You ain't put no money on the books, no taxes, bled no wars. You've contributed nothing intellectually here. And you get to come here, you get all these resources that the average American can't. What about our homeless children?
What about our veterans?
This is the game right now. Wow. So all of those things are connected, and it starts by not giving the children the resources that they need because you're stealing the money.
So you have these immigrants coming in. If you need to flee where you live, yeah, come in. But don't neglect your own children.
Yeah.
You're giving money. All of a sudden, you come up with all this money. You found all this money,
yep.
To throw at their needs and stuff. Our kids need a line in these bills or whatever. There needs to be a line in there that at-risk children get the same type of accommodations, modifications, and monies needed to help them access the curriculum too, okay?
Absolutely.
Do not leave our American children out. Everybody says that the Democratic Party, has an agenda behind bringing immigrants over because they can no longer depend on the black vote. So they're trying to replace our votes, okay?
Immigration, period, is a problem and has always harmed the freedmen. Illegal immigration is crushing the whole country. Stop saying, I'm okay with the immigration. Speak the truth.
When you think about what's going on in the United States of America right now and in Chicago with mass immigration, what are 3 words that come to mind for you?
Very, very angry.
Tell me more about that.
I'm going to put this at the feet of the Democratic Party, the Biden administration, because we've never seen a surge in immigration like we have seen under this administration. It's all by design. It's deliberate. The Democratic Party realizes that the black vote is dwindling because the Democratic Party has not delivered for the black community in the way that the black community has delivered for the Democratic Party in terms of votes. And they realize that. So what do they do? What do? They go around the world and they open up these borders and they let people come from around the world, poor, vulnerable people from around the world come into this country, and it was very strategic. You let them go into cities like New York. You let them come into cities like Chicago. You let them come into cities that where there's a large black population. Now, they're all over the city of Chicago, but the majority of them now in Chicago are on the west and the south side of Chicago. Poor neighborhoods that are struggling, that have been struggling for a long, long time. So you bring these people into Hyde Park, you bring these people into South Shore, they put them in a hotel literally right across the street from me. They're paying no rent. Their food is being provided for. They don't even make their beds. They have a maid to go and make their beds every day. How do I know? Because I live on the 25th floor and I can look right down on that hotel every day, every night, and I see what's going on. We don't want them in our community. Let them go back to where they came from, because it's my position that if you have a problem with your country, then you stay and you make it better by fighting that government, making your government do what it needs to do by its people, because that's what we do in this country. That's what I've been doing all of my life. I don't have any place to run to. America is my home. It's my country. We built it.
When the buses started rolling in, a lot of the American citizens, black citizens, did not realize what they were here for. But once that they got here, they started to bring them into the black community. And we started to do research, and that's when I found out that it was Kamala Harris that opened the borders up in California and allowed all the gangs, the Mexican gangs, to come across. And they took Compton and all the other black cities, similar to what we're seeing across the United States today.
About turning away from the Democratic Party, I have already turned. I will be voting Republican this time around. And I don't think that that's just a sentiment of Carter trust. I think that's the sentiment of a lot of people around the entire United States. And basically, you know, for years, the Democratic Party has taken our vote for granted, and they feel that they can continue to ignore us, not support us, not give us the things that we need in our communities, and we're going to continue to vote for them. We are not our grandparents. We're different. And when we see that you don't have our best interests at heart, we're going to go elsewhere. I'm going elsewhere.
Kata, that's a big statement. If President Biden were listening right now, or the White House was listening, what would you tell them to try to get your vote back?
I don't know that they can get my vote back. Nobody had time to meet with me to discuss this issue. And so as important as this issue has become to the black community, and the fact that our mayor, who I know, whom I supported, whom I donated money to his campaign, has not bothered to pick up the phone and to call me and to talk to me about what's happening, is a slap in the face for me. And so, no, I cannot support people who will not support me and my community.
I am so glad that I am seeing black people wake up to the facade of the Democrat Party. They've been running this game for 50, 60 years now. They've been running this game, and they've been running the same play. Think about this. The Democrat Party is Vince Lombardi. They're running that Packer sweep, and they've been running it successfully for a long time. And just now, it's starting not to work. The league has finally caught up with them. That's where we are today. Think about this, man. They brought these people over. Before we even talk about who they brought over, let's not start there. They've used Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood to decimate the black community. We're talking 24 million people gone. Then you start talk about the amount of crime that happens in these communities at the hands, more times than not, of another black person that looks exactly like them. So you look at the pregnancy termination, 24 million gone. Then you look at the amount of black on black crime from a homicide perspective. I don't know what those numbers are, but those numbers are pretty daggone high. Just today, I read that Baltimore City, which is a 70% black town, is the most deadliest town in the country. Prior to Baltimore City being named that, it was Memphis, which is another predominantly black town. And prior to that, it was New Orleans. The list goes on and on. Mind you, these are all liberal-led cities, all of them. I'm sure Chicago is right there in that top 10. I'm for certain of it. And here it is. You have black people supporting their own demise, and they've been doing it for quite some time, and these people are playing the long game. Dr. Claude Anderson said this in 1995, that black people will be a permanent underclass in this country. He said this in 1995. So you look at where we are today. You don't have to fast forward. Just look at where we are today. And where are we? Lowest people on this socioeconomic totem pole. And that doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. But yet you still have black folks supporting the Democrat Party. And now they brought your replacement. They brought your replacement in Chicago, in Denver, in New York City, and a whole host of other places. Kamala Harris helped this situation happen in California. This is a serious situation that we're dealing with right now, and it's unfortunate that you still have a lot of people that do not see the writing on the wall. But at this point, it's almost is what it is. Honestly, let's just keep it real. Can there be a change? Yes. But I don't think the government has a whole lot to do with it. Do we need Trump? Absolutely. But I think that Black people in Black communities have to stand up and make a stance and say, no, we're not dealing with this. We're not voting for you. We're not supporting you. And they got to do what they need to do to make sure that they protect their communities. Simple as that. I'm glad to see people like Cotter Trust and these people that was in the video early on stand up and say, no, but it could be too late. It could be. I hope not, but it could be. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. This election is extremely important. Not only for Americans, but especially for Black Americans. The thing that really bothers me is that the Black bourgeoisie is in on it, 10 toes down. They're in on it. The Ricky Smiley, Steve Harveys of the world, they're in on it because they don't care. They got their bag of silver and they've sold out their community. And they're willing to sell out America because they got their little bag of silver. This is frustrating, man. It's just really disgusting and just upsetting to see. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. Consider joining the ARP family. It supports me, the team, the channel, and gives us the ability to do what we do on a day-to-day basis. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.